Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will continue with our first unit, which is titled, Did You Hurt Yourself? Our lesson today is the pronunciation and the conversation part in your books, page 8 and 9. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 8 and 9, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started with the homework. Your homework was on page 83, exercise L. Look at the picture and answer the questions below. Let's study the picture together. Here we're having a mom and her little kid. Could be a boy or a girl. What is she doing? This is one of the questions. Where are they? Looks like that they are in the car. They are in the car. The first question, what is the person doing for safety? What is the mom doing in here? It could be the mom or the dad. So he or she is fastening the baby in the child seat. When you are wearing it, when you are putting it, the seat belt, or we are calling it fastening. The T is silent. What can happen if the person doesn't take safety measures? What do we mean by safety measures? Like following the instructions, following the road signs, wearing the seat belt, not driving over the speed limit. If this person doesn't take the safety measures, the baby might get hurt. The baby might fall, or in case of an accident, God forbid, he or she might get hurt. They might fall. Also, where should the child's seat be placed in the car? This is the child's seat. Where should we put it? Should you put it at the front or at the back of the car? It should be, the child's seat should be placed on the back seat of the car. Not in the front. It is not allowed to put it in the front next to at the passenger seat. It should be at the back. Next, what are some other things that you should do to make sure that the child is safe in the car, other than the idea of the seat belt, other than the car seat for children? Other things that we have to put in mind. We can think about. They should ensure the child locks are activated. So make sure that the doors are locked in case the kids are playing with the door, so they will not open the door. Any other ideas that you can think about? Any idea is welcome. Okay. For our lesson today, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to identify consonant cluster. What is a consonant cluster? And also, you'll be able to answer some questions based on a conversation. Use real talk phrases correctly. So at the beginning, we will start with the pronunciation, then we will go to the conversation part. Let's get started together. In here, sounds in English are divided into, we're having two types of sounds, whether they are the consonants or the vowels. We're not speaking about letters, we're speaking about the sound itself. Consonants, like when we say the B sound, the T sound, or the D. These are some. You can speak about the K, the S, and other sounds. However, for the vowels are like the A, the E, and the O sounds. Some of them are short, like the I and the E, and others are long, like the A, the E. They are long. So sounds are whether consonants or they are vowels. How can we differentiate between the consonants and the vowels? Consonants, actually, they are speech sounds that are produced by completely or partly stopping the airflow. So when you are speaking, we're having the air flows from inside to outside. When it is a consonant, we are stopping this air. Notice this picture here, this short video. We're having here one sound, one consonant sound. You are going to stop it at any place in your vocal cords. Like when we say street, Notice when you say t, street, you are stopping the air with the t sound. How about cat? Let's notice the k sound. K. We are stopping the air when we are saying k. Cat. It's not airflow. We're having a stop for the air. So cat. We are stopping it twice. K and t. How about the vowels? The vowel the other way around, we're having it's a speech sound that is produced with a relatively open vocal tract. Notice the picture in here. We're having the air flows, no stopping. We're not obstructing it. We're not stopping it. The same words here. We're having street. Notice when you are say street, the E sound. The air flows. Street. How about cat? The A sound, we're saying cat. So when you are saying A, the tract is open. We're not stopping the air. These are the vowels and the sound. What do we mean when we say consonant cluster? Clusters, it means one after the other, next to each other. It's a group of two or more consonants. So we're not having just T, just K, we're having a T with a K. Two consonants after each other, maybe two, three, or more. Here we're having this example, like scream, camping, and banks. The sounds that are highlighted in red, these are clusters. Not just having N sound, it is N, K, and Sa. Now I want you to listen and notice the consonant clusters. Notice the sounds that are highlighted here in red. Let's listen together.
Scream. Camping. Banks.
So as you have noticed, we're having three sounds in scream, like S, K, and R sound. In camping, we have the M and the P cluster, and banks, N, K, and Sa sounds. They are clustered one after the other. Okay. Here, where can we put the consonant clusters? We can put them, they can come whether at the beginning, middle, or at the end. Let's come up with examples. Beginning, middle, or at the end. When we're having at the beginning, it means the first two or the first three letters are all consonants. Like here we have black and we have scream. Let's listen to them, black and scream. Notice.
Black. Scream.
So we're having the B and the L sound, scream, three consonant clusters, S, K, and R sounds. How about in the middle? It means not the first letter, not the first sound, it is the second sound. Like discard, and we have reply. Let's listen to them.
Discard. Reply.
So as you have noticed, we have the S, K in the middle, and we're having reply, the P and L sounds. We don't have a vowel in the middle. How about at the end? The last part of the word, like end, and also first. Listen to them and notice.
End. First.
So here we're having the N and D sound, and first, like we're having the R, S, and the T sound. So it comes at the beginning, middle, or at the end of the word. Okay. We are going to focus actually on the final cluster. We're not going to speak about the first or the middle. When it is the final cluster, it can come only, we're having only three choices. Whether it is two consonant clusters, so we only have two sounds, like honest, and we have jump. Let's listen together to them here.
Honest. Jump.
We're having the S and T, then jump, M, and also P. Or we're having three consonant clusters, like next, we have K, S, and T, and crisps, the S, P, and a s and sa sounds. Let's listen to them.
Next. Crisps.
How about if we're having 4 consonant clusters like prompts and texts? Listen to them. At the end, we're having 4 consonant clusters.
Prompts. Texts.
As you have noticed, we're having 4 consonant clusters, 4 vowel sounds together, and we don't have no vowel in the middle. So 4 consonant sounds and no vowel in the middle. Why are we studying such a thing? Because we want to be a better language speakers. If you are using the consonant cluster better, you will be a better fluent language speaker. You will sound much more like a native speaker. We're having here street and first. You will listen to 2 people saying first and street. You will listen 1, then 2, and I want you to tell which one sounds much more better, like more native and more fluent. Let's listen to them and you will tell.
Street. First.
Street. First.
As you have noticed, the first one sounds less fluent and less native, like when we say sit, it is street. It's not first, it's first. We're having s, we're having ra, sa, and ta sounds together. No vowels in the middle. So it sounds much better, more fluent when you are using the consonant clusters correctly. Okay, now in your books, page 8, we're having this part, which is the consonant clusters LF, NT, LT, ST, and we're having also ND. Listen and try to pronounce or say them while you are listening. Let's listen together.
Myself. Shelf. Result. Belt. Accident. Restaurant. Wrist. First. End. Sand.
So as you have noticed, all of these are having 2 consonant clusters, final 2 consonant clusters. We're having the LF and NT, LT, ST, and the ND. No vowels in the middle. Try to practice more so we will sound more fluent and more like a native speaker. Now we wanted to go back to page 5. We're having here, read the most common causes of automobile crashes. Read it again and come up with the consonant clusters. Let's come up with them together. The words that are having consonant clusters, like most, we're having the S, the S, ta sounds. Most. Also, accidents. We're having final consonant clusters. Also, documents. We've got also difficult, LT at the end. Then we're having residence, na, ta, and sa. Also, we're having seconds, final consonant clusters. Wind and na and da sounds, amount as well, and we're having front. And there are many other consonant clusters, whether at the beginning or in the middle, but we have focused on the final consonant clusters, whether it's 2 or 3. Okay? Now let's refer to your books on page 9. Now read the conversation and find the words that ends with a consonant cluster. Let's read the first 2 speeches, the first 2 or 3. Here we're having hurt, yourself, also cycle, motorcycle, patch, last, and we're having windshield. Just notice the last part of each word, and if it comes with 2 consonant sounds, so it is a consonant, 2 or more, it is a consonant cluster. Okay, so this is the idea of a consonant cluster. let's refer to now to the conversation on page 9. And the conversation on page 9. Here we're having a conversation. Who are the speakers for our conversation today? The speakers today are, we're having Samer and Jassim. So we're having Samer and Jassim. Let's try to study the whole page that we've got in here. We're having actually two men, Samer and Jassim. One of them is on the wheelchair, the one on the left in here. The other one is having a bandage on his head. He might have hurt himself, hit his head on something. A motorcycle in here and a bicycle. Can you make any guesses? It could be a bicycle or a motorcycle accident. And we're having this little animal, which is the squirrel. This one is a squirrel. Can you make any guesses? What is it about? It must be about an accident. They might have hit each other, crashed each other while they were driving. Now let's go to the conversation. Now we will listen into here, and I want you to tell me what kind of accidents did they have, Jassim and Samer. Let's listen to the conversation and you will tell.
So, how did you hurt yourself?
I fell off my bike.
Really? So did I. My motorcycle skidded on a patch of oil on the road, and I crashed into a car. The last thing I remember was flying through the air and hitting the windshield. I woke up in the hospital.
Were you wearing a helmet?
Yes, luckily I was. That's what probably saved my life. How about you?
I was cycling in the park, so I didn't think I'd need a helmet. I don't like wearing helmets, they're uncomfortable and unattractive. This squirrel came out of nowhere. I swerved, lost my balance, and hit a tree. I got off lightly, only a few bruises and a bump on my head.
It was your lucky day.
Yeah. That's too bad you broke both legs. You're going to be stuck in that wheelchair for a while, I guess.
Look at it this way, if I broke only one leg, there might not be enough room for all my friends to write their names on the cast. Hey, would you like to sign your name?
Okay, so what kind of accidents do we have in here? Is it car accidents? No, it is actually, we're having one bicycle, an accident with a bicycle, and the other one is a different story with a motorcycle accident. So we have a motorcycle and the other one is a bicycle or a bike. Okay, now we will listen one more time, and this time we will come up with the answers for these three questions. Number one, what happened to Samer? Notice his speech. What happened to Jassim? And were they wearing helmets? Speaking about, were they covering their heads? Yes or no? Let's listen and you will come up with the answer.
So, how did you hurt yourself?
I fell off my bike.
Really? So did I. My motorcycle skidded on a patch of oil on the road, and I crashed into a car. The last thing I remember was flying through the air and hitting the windshield. I woke up in the hospital.
Were you wearing a helmet?
Yes, luckily I was. That's what probably saved my life. How about you?
I was cycling in the park, so I didn't think I'd need a helmet. I don't like wearing helmets, they're uncomfortable and unattractive. This squirrel came out of nowhere. I swerved, lost my balance, and hit a tree. I got off lightly, only a few bruises and a bump on my head.
It was your lucky day.
Yeah. That's too bad you broke both legs. You're going to be stuck in that wheelchair for a while, I guess.
Look at it this way, if I broke only one leg, there might not be enough room for all my friends to write their names on the cast. Hey, would you like to sign your name?
So here, let's speak about the story, Samer's story. What happened to him? Samer actually, his motorcycle skidded on a patch of oil. It slipped on a patch of oil on the road and he crashed into a car. Then how about Jassim? What happened to him? He was cycling in the park. A squirrel came out of nowhere, so he swerved, lost his balance, and he hit a tree. Were they wearing helmets? Jassim and Samer. Were they? Actually, Samer was wearing a helmet, but Jassim wasn't wearing one. Okay, let's look into here. So we're speaking about Samer's story. It happened on a motorcycle, and he's having a cast. Look at his legs. Both legs are attached to a cast. These two, we call them casts. This is one cast. And the idea of to skid, to slide. When someone was speaking about a motorcycle or a car, it's skidded. How about Jassim? The story happened at the park. We had a squirrel, this little animal, and he swerved. He swerved, it means he was trying to avoid the squirrel, so he fell off. Okay, now here we're having the same conversation. I want you to notice the words that are in blue in here, so you will guess the meaning.
Yeah. That's too bad you broke both legs. You're going to be stuck in that wheelchair for a while, I guess.
Look at it this way, if I broke only one leg, there might not be enough room for all my friends to write their names on the cast.
So what do you mean when you say, that was my lucky day? A lucky day, it means, so I was lucky that day, it was my lucky day, a day of a good fortune. So something bad happened, however, I survived. It was my lucky day. Then he said, you are going to be stuck in. What is stuck in? To stuck in, to be unable to move. You will sit on your wheelchair for a while, for a long time. I guess. When you say I guess, are you sure? It means like I think. I'm not sure. Still not sure. Uncertainty. Then Samer was positive. He said, look at it this way. Different way to think about something. Let's look at the bright side. Let's look at a different way of thinking. I try to use these words. Look at it this way. It was my lucky day and stuck in. Someone would say, I won the first place in the race. Something good. So we will say, it was my lucky day. You didn't win the race, but look at it this way. At least you met new people and you are not in the house. You are not stuck in your house. You're not stuck in your house like between four walls. Okay, so these they are. Now I want you to go over the conversation one more time, read the questions and try to find answers for the questions based on your understanding for the conversation. How did Samer hurt himself? Samer, his motorcycle skidded on a patch of oil and it crashed into a car. Why was he lucky? What happened? Something that is good. Because he was wearing a helmet and it probably saved his life. We can't imagine if he weren't wearing a helmet on his head. How about Jassim? How did Jassim hurt himself? Jassim actually, he was cycling in the park. A squirrel ran in front of him, so he swerved to avoid it and hit a tree. He didn't want to walk into the squirrel. Why is he sorry? Why is Jassim sorry for Samer? Because he is going to be stuck in a wheelchair for a while. He can't walk for a long time. Okay, for your homework, I want you to imagine that you were whether Jassim or Samer. Imagine, put yourself in his shoes, whether Samer or Jassim, and try to narrate or tell the story. What is it about? Describe what happened. How would you feel if you were Samer or you were Jassim? Okay? I guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.